6:45 and the sound of my alarm has just woken me. It's race day, and in just over an hour I'll be standing at the start line of the Pig on the Hill Backyard Ultra. I've had an unsettled night and I feel like I could go back to sleep for a few extra hours. I'm also a little excited and nervous to get onto the start line and see how far I can push myself today. I've already chosen the kit I'm starting the race in. My go-to Backyard Ultra top, Run More Yards, my new favourite running cap, both of these from We Run Brights. I've got a pair of Happy Stride shorts to match, some bright socks from Sporks, and on my feet, a pair of Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail Knit. These often get a few strange looks, often followed with, "You're running an ultra in those?" when I'm standing at the start of a big race. The sun is already blazing. It feels like the temperature is going to rise quickly today, which is going to make running on this very open, unshaded course feel difficult very quickly. Not something to worry about now though, but a reminder to drink plenty and ensure I take in lots of salts too to keep myself hydrated and reduce the risk of cramping later on in the race. I sit quietly on my own in the tent. I'll base for the duration of the race, which is pitched close to the pen, and eat my breakfast, overnight oats, pimped with fresh raspberries and chia seeds. I actually feel pretty relaxed, no pre-race nerves, which makes a pleasant change. I pin my number to my shorts, folding it to make it as small and comfortable as possible, and strap my timing chip around my ankle. With time disappearing quickly, it's already time for race briefing. I listen in from the edge of the tent before making my way to the start line. What's known as the toughest UK Backyard Ultra. The runners are already gathered and a buzz of anticipation is filling the air. But what is the Backyard Ultra? It's a last one standing event, a race where only one person can finish and everyone else gets a DNF who did not finish. The course has to be a minimum of 4.16 miles, which is 6.7 kilometres, and runners must consecutively run this distance in under 1 hour. Each lap, known as a yard, starts exactly on the hour. To stay in the race, you need to complete the previous yard and be back in the start pen before the next yard begins. If you aren't in that start pen in time, you are DNF'd. Now this all sounds fairly easy on paper. It doesn't sound particularly hard to run or walk 4 miles in an hour. But those miles quickly add up. The only time you get to rest is the time you get between finishing your last yard and the start of your next. But if you complete your yard in 55 minutes, it only leaves you 5 minutes to eat, drink, use the toilet and change should you need to. You have to know what you need to do before you need to do it. And don't get me wrong, the Pig on the Hill may be challenging, but it is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Once you're out of the race village and have made the first climb up the road to the coastal path, you get views out across the sea, rugged outcrops and beautiful bright purple heather. The path became overgrown with ferns and brambles around the cottage, which I really enjoyed brushing through before looping back and heading towards the next out and back, up to the Trig and the Pig. The path on the first loop was rocky underfoot in places, and I stubbed my toes multiple times. On one yard, I actually thought I'd broken my toe, but the pain didn't ease at all. Still, we move forwards. The path is fairly narrow, so finding your pace in the crowd before it bottlenecks is essential. Although I found myself running someone else's pace on more than one occasion, not that this affects my race here in any way. The climb up to the Trig point seemed long, although not particularly steep. The path was narrow and through high prickly gorse. It felt strangely nice gently scratching on my legs, a distraction from the thoughts in my mind. As the climb nears the Trig point at the top of the hill, the event village sits below to the right, and you realise just how high you've climbed. The cheers and bells echo from below, encouraging waves to friends and crew shouting and waving back. A really uplifting moment on the climb. Passing the Trig point, the path narrows and slowly moves back downhill. Wild horses roam the hills, some of them running around, some casually taking in what's going on. Although I have the urge to stop and take photos, I push on towards the Pig, the last turn around on the edge of the cliff before heading back to the village. A gentle climb back, cheering on runners coming back along the path in the opposite direction. By this point, I can calculate what time I'll be making back into the village. Passing through the farm, it just leaves a casual section back up the gravel track before one final loop around the field. People cheering as you step onto the grass, pulling you back across the line, encouraging you back out for another lap. My race ended after 9 yards. I total of 37.5 miles. Although I made it back in time to start the next yard, after a couple of hundred metres into yard 10, my mind beat me and convinced me to stop. I sit in my robe, in the tent, body depleted, shivering. Make a plenty shake as it's super easy to consume. It's full of essential vitamins, protein and calories, which will help to try and level my body out again. And after a short while, I start to come around, although I feel very fatigued. I'm proud of what I achieved, and although I wish I could have gone further, I know this helps to make me both mentally and physically stronger for the Northern Traverse. I had a really dark patch for a couple of hours where I wanted to quit, but I managed to push through it and pick myself up, which is a very valuable lesson. Although I didn't go as far as I would have liked to, I really enjoyed getting to run miles with my best friend, another adventure shared. Got to see lots of familiar faces, celebrate people as they push themselves to their breaking point, achieving great things. Thank you, Pig, for a day in the hills, a day I won't forget.